Commissioner Davidson,
Here.
Commissioner Dodd,
Here.
Commissioner Irving,
Here.
Commissioner Johnson,
Present.
Commissioner Phillips, Commissioner Wilson,
Here.
Chairman McAdoo.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Next, approval of the minutes, Vice Chairman.
Mr. Chair, I have reviewed the minutes of our November meeting, and it was all in order, and I'd move to approve.
Motion to approve. Second. All those in favor? Public comments? No. Facility maintenance report? Dodd.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'll start tonight's report off with Las Casas Public Health and Safety Building. Not a lot of significant changes since my last report. The site work remains ongoing at approximately 90% complete. The spray foam insulation is now complete. The roof work remains the same at roughly 90% complete. We're still awaiting the fascia and soffit and flashing. The mechanical, plumbing, and electrical also remain about the same at 80%. The drywall and the first paint coats are now complete. The concrete swale work is ongoing. That's at the rear of the building. The stone wall veneer work is ongoing. It's at approximately 90% complete. The natural gas line has been installed. The concrete and pavement work and the preparation is ongoing at 80%. Interior plumbing and electrical fixtures are underway. The ceiling grid is ongoing. They have about 90% of the ceiling grid in. The MPE trim out and low voltage is ongoing. It's at roughly 40% complete. The 4-week look ahead for Las Casas consists of above ceiling inspections, followed closely by ceiling tile installation, HVAC pads, condensers, inspections, and then startup. Flooring and epoxy floor finishes, door and hardware installation. And out at Las Casas, over the last couple months, I have been reporting about a delay associated with some electrical switchgear, the main electrical panel that feeds the building. Well, I'm pleased to inform you that last week at PBA, American notified that switchgear that was causing those delays has arrived on site and has now been installed, and the building now has permanent power. So that project is now back on schedule, and they have revised our move-in date to March the 1st. That completes my report on Las Casas.
Questions on Las Casas?
No questions, just one statement. I was by there Monday. I think we're learning, and those processes are moving a lot.
The first one, like we mentioned that a month or so back, is that, you know, that first building, we did have some hiccups, and there were some engineering modifications that had to be made, and we did learn some, we were able to improve on the design, and I think that's normal with every construction project. But I will say that American has been excellent in their performance. They're responsive, they're on time. The quality of their workmanship, I mean, it's outstanding, and you can see it. It's visible at every aspect of that job. When you go out and visit these sites, you can't help but notice it. Well, I'll move on to the Walter Hill location. Out at Walter Hill, that site work is ongoing, approximately 80% complete. The CMU walls are now complete. I've not received a final confirmation on the site fire line and the vault inspection that I referred to. They had some issues tying that into the building, but I anticipate that notification for a pass inspection next week. The roof work is ongoing at roughly 50%. In my mind, they're exceeding the schedule as far as expectations. They already have the metal decking down. So obviously the trusses and the metal deck are at 100% now. The light gauge stud walls, you can see they're already starting to go up with the second level and the elevated walls. The mechanical plumbing, the electrical rough-in is ongoing. It's at roughly 70% complete. The heavy timber work is now complete. They finished that up last week. The stone wall veneer has been delivered to site, and if you see maybe slightly to the left, in that left picture where the scaffolding is, you can see they have started to come up with that stone veneer there on the front. So again, right on schedule. The 4-week look ahead, we should start to see some plywood decking, and quite possible within the next 4 weeks, they could start laying shingles. And the sprinkler system and that plumb in is at approximately 50% complete. The exterior windows and glass have been delivered to site. The prep for interior wall finishes, we should start to see drywall, the second floor mezzanine walls, overhead mechanical plumbing and electrical rough-in. We should start to see that going in. The contractor has not reported any delays associated with the electrical switchgear or any of the panels pertaining to this location. And our move-in date remains for the second week of May. That completes my report on the Walter Hill location.
Okay, any questions on Walter Hill? No?
Commissioners, last month, Chairman McAdoo asked me to give a closeout report for the extra work associated with the site plan at Kittrell. There were some issues reported about some stormwater that was entering the Rutherford County Schools storage building that is also located on that parcel. So what you have here is a revised drawing from SEC where they went back and they looked at the site, the stormwater coming off of our new site. And that green area that you see there is roughly 20 foot. The dirt work or excavation is roughly about 20 foot in depth and about 50 to 60 foot in length. And it varies depending on the normal elevation slope that exists between 12 to 18 inches in depth. Now this was signed off on, you have a document in front of you, and that basically summarizes the conversation that American Constructors had with the with SEC on correcting that issue. If you have any questions, I mean, there's not much I can say. I do have a picture of the finished swale. Well, basically, the water just comes off of our new site. It was kind of gradually making its way toward the building. This is going to run it down to a lower elevation. It's a natural lower elevation. As far as I'm concerned, basically what I said last week, and this is just, I guess, documentation of it. So, but that job is complete. American, if you look at the bottom paragraph, there at the last sentence of the bottom paragraph, I don't have it in front of me, but no, American self-performed this, pulled it back into the project at no cost to the county.
This work is part of the original design with very minor tweaks and no additional cost is associated with it.
Thank you, sir. So that was just one note that I wanted to make you aware of. So that's going to complete my report on the additional services for the Kittrell Public Health and Safety Building.
Any other questions?
A half or so weeks after the Rockville location.
So Kittrell opened, oh yeah, it was the second one. Yeah, thank you. Is it staffed? That was in budget from,
Budget for employment, I'm saying the move-in date was roughly August, the end of August.
Anything else with the parking?
So, we toured the parking garage this afternoon. I made this committee aware of some of the issues that we were having, and you were all able to view them for yourselves. Plan of action that we put together and have already implemented, and you saw it for yourselves tonight, is that we have adjusted our maintenance cleaning schedule. So, as reported last month, we were cleaning the facility 2 days a week, and we are going to hopefully do that 4 days a week. We checked the lighting. We had about four. We found about 4 lights out. 2 of those, the parts are on order. The other 2 were repaired. There are some areas that I pointed out to you during the walkthrough tonight where they are low lit, kind of dim areas that could use some extra lighting. So we're looking to purchase some additional lighting. It won't be a very costly improvement. It's affordable. It would be useful, and I think much needed. But we targeted some areas tonight that we could use some additional lighting outside of the original design. We have put, now one thing we have done is we've gone in and we have replaced all of the plastic exterior bubble guards over the electrical outlets that were exposed to the public, and we've put the solid metal flap covers on those, and we have terminated the electricity to those receptacles so that the public no longer has access to electricity. We've cleaned the lighting fixtures, and I have made some recommendations to the mayor's office for him to take into consideration, and those are to adjust the hours of the security that we have between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to accommodate the closing hours of our local downtown bars. Currently, our security starts at 7:30 p.m. and they leave at 12:30 p.m. We have some bars that stay open until 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. So we have recommended that we shift that schedule or add some additional hours to that security. We are also looking to get OIT involved and ask for their recommendations on possibly adding some additional cameras, because we saw that there were some areas down there that we would consider blind spots. That's one recommendation. And finally, from a law enforcement standpoint, I've worked with Deputy Chief Spence this week, and very helpful. He has agreed to patrol and a more more presence in the garage Monday through Friday during normal business hours with sheriff's deputies that are working in the judicial building for an added level of security. And he has also he's working with Murfreesboro Police Department, and he has added some additional patrols in that after hours and on the weekends, and they agreed to do so. So thank you for the Sheriff's Department for assisting with that. My final recommendation, last week we had a company come in and do a professional pressure wash and sweep and vacuum of the entire parking garage, and that might be something that we look at doing maybe annually, once a year, and then let the maintenance department try to maintain that throughout the year, and just look to do that once a year. So those are some of the items that we have addressed already, and those are some of the items that we have presented to the mayor's office for consideration.
Questions? Commissioner Phillips?
Just a statement. I toured that building twice, once this afternoon after our insurance committee meeting. That's the reason I wasn't there at 3:30, but that place looked really good. I mean, it looks really good. And I'm pretty sure that it's because of your department getting on top of that really quick and right away, and you guys are to be commended. Chief Spence has also once again indicated that they're working with Murfreesboro for additional tours, inspections, drive-throughs of that building on weekends, especially Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I think that's probably what they also do at the city-county parking garage. I think they do those same things. So I think they're just adding that to that, if I'm not mistaken, and making it a part of their normal process.
That's exactly how it was explained to me.
Any other questions on the parking garage?
There appears to be, I don't know, an abandoned vehicle or 2 or 3 in there.
4.
I'm sorry?
4.
Okay. Is there something that we've got in the works for that?
5, well, yeah, we got something in the works for that. Hopefully that will be taken care of. Also, we got some more issues that we're going to discuss with our county attorney. Help over there. So, probably will be presented in the next meeting. Questions? Parking garage? That, you want to go ahead? We'll do that on another. Question on security update of the parking garage? If not, under other business, we have Single Road.
So, Commissioners, last month, you asked me to follow up with the mayor's office in regard to the outbuildings or the remaining structures, the barn and other various outbuildings on the Singer Road, Florence Road location that we've been dealing with for a few months now. So the mayor has informed me that he is actively working on this issue, and he is in contact with a potential buyer. And that's all the information I have at this time.
Mr. Chairman, a buyer for the 20 acres or a buyer for the buildings?
For the structures.
Okay.
Specifically, the barn is what I'm referring to. The barn and the other structure that is existing. He said he's engaged and that he is in, he's communicating with a potential buyer. And that's all the information that I have.
Questions? Well, I guess he can't answer any questions, except he's continuing to work on the buildings, I guess. Yes. Commissioner Johnson?
Have we heard anything else about the marketing of the property?
No, I haven't. I guess I need to touch base with the mayor again on that. Hopefully, we can get the Chamber of Commerce chairman over here that was here before. Got an update on that property. I will touch base again with the mayor. Yeah, no information. Any other business to come before us tonight? Entertain a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a safe Christmas.
That's good, thank you.
Merry Christmas.
No other questions? Meeting adjourned.